Seems like everybody that I find even an inch charming on the internet is doing a GLP-1 ad.
Yes, I'm on Row.
There's only one Ozempic.
Get ready with me for my Row check-in.
And I've lost 45 pounds. In fact, I've lost everything but my big mouth.
While I was wasted off of my ass watching Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, you wouldn't believe my shock and horror when Serena Williams came up on my screen telling me to use fucking
Lose 31 pounds.
And then Mike Tyson was calling me fat.
I was so fat and nasty.
And GLP-1s are very popular, so you probably heard of it, but if you don't know what it does, it basically raises your insulin and interacts with your glucose, which would obviously be helpful for somebody with diabetes. The effects of something like a GLP-1 is going to interact with your appetite, your gut, and also your mind using your hypothalamus. So it kind of works together. I don't know if it's just me, but the people that I know that have been prescribed a GLP-1 are not fucking diabetic. They're just fat. Which is that's not a bad thing. I say that with, I mean shit. I'm kind of girthy right now. And that might sound like lazy or whatever, like, oh, you're taking a drug to get skinnier. But actually, I will argue with this, against this. I will wrap around, bring it back down, smack that ass on my face, and make that booty go round. Obesity does cause a lot of problems. Your heart, your blood pressure. I know my uncle needs a liver. It does affect your health. And since everybody, it's seeming like most people in America are a little obese, it would help a lot. Maybe it can be used for diabetes and obesity, because sometimes obesity can be seen as a type of illness, or a type of illness, because obesity doesn't just connect to the way your body looks, the way you feel about food. It can also be your genetics. There are certain things that make it difficult for a person to lose weight and really easy for them to gain weight. So I understand that, and I won't belittle that fact, because that is true. But I don't think that is the case for the majority of people that take these GLP-1s. I just do not. That's not the majority of obese people or fat people in America anyway. But with that, I will say that people that take Ozempic, not only are the side effects like nausea, throwing up, of course, shitting your pants, the side effects are also the fact that a lot of people statistically gain the weight back. So here's what happens when you lose all that weight on a GLP-1. So let's say you drop 60 pounds in 3 months. This is possible on a GLP-1. It's very possible to drop weight because, like I said, the gut and the mind are working together to suppress an appetite. It basically, from the experience that I've heard from other people, makes you nauseous and you don't want to eat. So losing 60 pounds isn't that hard. The problem with is, are you willing to lose 40 pounds of muscle? Are you willing to lose a good amount of muscle when you lose that weight? Some people may say, you know, muscle weighs more than fat. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. You should not be willing to lose muscle. Muscles is what makes your metabolic rate higher. The more muscle you have, the more energy it takes for your body to sustain, heal, grow, keep up with that muscle. Your body has to work for that. So if you lose a bunch of fucking weight, but you just lost mostly muscle, if you get off something like a GLP-1, you lost all that muscle, your metabolism is probably slower. So it's more likely that you're gonna gain that weight back. And also, the age group of women that are taking this are largely middle-aged women. Those women need that muscle. You need your muscles. You need your joints healthy. You can't be losing all that fucking muscle. So you might say to what I just said, what if I take a GLP-1 and gain muscle? Oh, that's genius. Statistically, most people that are on GLP-1s don't go to the gym. They actually stop going to the gym. I wonder why. You're fucking weak. I don't know if you've ever tried to work out, like, it's called like a fast workout. It's like a trend. You're fasting and you're working out. It feels like somebody kicked your legs in. It looks like somebody shook your body around, pressed you in a vacuum, squeezed you out a little bit, wrangled you around, threw you out. Yeah. So people aren't going to the fucking gym. They feel weak. Their bodies are weak. That's what Ozempic does. It forces you not to do the very thing that your body needs to do. Eat. Eat a lot. When you lose weight, you can still eat a lot. But with Ozempic, you're not eating anything. It takes all the control from you, and it's just weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. And that makes sense because it's not a drug for weight loss. So with that, the results are pretty circular. You take Ozempic, you stop taking Ozempic, you gain the weight back. So you might take Ozempic again. Or, here's how your circle might look. You take Ozempic, you take Ozempic, you take Ozempic so you don't ever gain the weight back. I don't know anybody that would voluntarily elect to be on a medication for the rest of their lives. Again, and I still say to this, there may be some people that Ozempic or GLP-1 is helpful for. Like my uncle, for example. My uncle is about 400 pounds. Maybe 300 now. If he doesn't lose weight, he could die. That's just it. He has heart problems, he has kidney problems. Honestly, he probably should have been on GLP-1 sooner to save his fucking kidneys. Sometimes you need to lose the weight faster than you can actually lose the weight. So maybe it will help. But that does not answer why I see Serena Williams on Row, Tana Mojo on Manjaro. What's going on? GLP-1s have a mechanism and have a purpose, and that primary purpose is not for thinness. It's just not. And to use that with just the goal of thinness, especially if you are not so, especially if you don't reach a level of obesity where it's like ruining your life. If you just want to lose 30 pounds, don't go on a GLP-1. Don't do that. Don't. It's awful. And the celebrities that are promoting this shit, stop promoting this shit if you care about the people watching your content. I had this discussion with my friend a couple years ago that I felt that GLP-1s would be like a way that thinness will attach to the bourgeoisie, because GLP-1s were a little bit more expensive at the time, and I saw more famous, more, you know, rich women taking these drugs and being thin. So I thought, you know, if you're rich, you're gonna be skinny, and that's going to be like an indicator, almost like a class indicator. So I want to like go back to what I think the root of this is, and the root of the Ozempic, the GLP-1s, and just the obsession with thinness that we see. You know, it feels like everyone is skinny, and not skinny like Ultra 2000s, Nicole Richie, 4th of July, you can't be over 100 pounds if you're a girl skinny. But I think we could pinpoint thinness in our culture and why ultra thinness kind of ran rampant, and that is number one motherfucking culprit, Brandy Melville. And basically, Brandy Melville is a one-size-fits-all place, and those sizes happen to be small. It adds a kind of commodity and a reward to being skinny. It's, I can fit into this and you can't. It's a us versus them almost automatically. Fats versus skinnies. I think fashion is very interesting because I think it really influences the culture and influences how we see things. And if it doesn't influence it, what it does is project it out. So another thing we see is Lululemon, this fitness brand, and a lot of fitness type brands have become popular. I would say those are probably some of the most, if not the most popular clothing brands amongst young women are those two things. A lot of young women have a couple of either of the brands in their wardrobe today. People love it. And both of those brands promote kind of thinness in different ways. The increased conservatism has snuck in the culture in funky little ways, like podcasts and Erica Kirk, who is now Erica Fasha Shasha fuck, and also being a trad wife, being a trad woman, or the more alternative Diet Coke cigarette way, the cool way is being coquette. Both of those are performing what we know is very girly, dainty, white dresses and bows and like, it's very cutesy and dainty and very clean and pink and white. But these things are the way that conservatism is projected. These are conservative trends, and we don't even realize that they're conservative trends. I think conservatism highlights this sort of femininity that is almost ethnocentric in a way. And when we talk about ethnocentrism, I mean the popularity of white culture in America and what being a little white girl is. And I don't know if you guys hung out around a little bunch of little white girls in high school, but you gotta be thin. Like that's like that's the beauty standard for little white girls. For white women is you gotta be thin most of the time. So I think when we look at conservatism and when we look at the themes, we see kind of what is popular in the white culture, what is popular in that way, it's kind of pushed out onto society. You see pictures about guys wanting a trad wife or girls being coquette. You will not see a fat person in those pictures. You will not probably see a black person in those pictures. You won't see anything past, I won't even say a brown bag test. I'd probably say a dryer sheet test. So yeah, we have this need for skinniness because that's the aesthetic and that fits into the popularity of the culture. And another thing would be, you know, furthering of this right-wing rhetoric and our introduction of being more dark or not woke and saying things like big back, which is just synonymous with the word fat ass. It's just kind of an attitude where we wouldn't say certain things maybe last year, but this year we're gonna say you have a big fucking back. These things mark an incentive for being skinny. You want to be thin. You want to fit in. You don't want to be an outcast. You don't want to be a big back. You don't want to be a fat ass. And now you're like, well, I want to be skinny. I want to be thin. I want to be like the rest of the way the culture is moving. And let's say you can't get bone thin like everybody else. So you say, I'm gonna take Ozempic because Trisha Paytas told me to. You take Ozempic and you might look like a bobblehead for a couple months, but it's okay because fuck it, you're skinny. And this makes a very, very, very large demand and therefore an audience, a very, very, very large audience, and therefore more ad money. So Serena Williams gets on Roe and she just made millions of fucking dollars for promoting something that's probably gonna speak to middle-aged women and at large will ruin their metabolisms. They take something that's gonna kill exactly what they need into old age, their muscles. So GLP-1s and its side effects, a healthy body it does not make.
It's just do what you feel when you feel like it, if you feel like it.
That may be to some people quite shocking.
What's shocking? To do what you feel when you feel like